Hi everyone, I'm Regina Sellers with Probo the Hand, and this is just a very short little video on how to make the body, the bottom and the top for the bunny rabbit. I hope you'll join me, and I know you're going to enjoy it. Okay, so I have covered the 16-inch round ring, as you can see. Okay, there we go, front and back. And this is the 16-inch round ring, and this is the bottom of the bunny. And so now I'm going to start from the beginning, and I'm going to show you how to cover the 12-inch ring. It's exactly the same, and I thought, you wouldn't mind seeing seeing a little shorter version, because nothing is different. What I did is, you can see here, is I've cut my batting, and I've cut it into a 4-inch strip. I've measured this for my batting, and you can see it's in 2 different pieces. I'm going to show you how to piece it. Okay. Just make sure you roll it up. Cut your strips, and however many strips that you need of batting. You can use up all kind of pieces if you would like. Because like I said, I'm going to show you how to piece it. But anyway, your total amount of batting in 4-inch strips for the small ring is, you need 4 yards. You just need it to be 4 yards long. Okay. And that's 4 yards of your batting and your fabric. Okay. Just 4 yards, and however many pieces of it you have, because I'm going to show you how to splice it. Also, for the 16-inch ring, this took 5.5 yards. Now that's your strips in length, okay? 5.5 yards. Like I said, if you might have pieces and you just use it all up, that's perfectly fine. So here we go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our batting on. Okay, and we're gonna do this with hot glue. So let's start like this. And you're going to start at an angle, because you're going to be going round and round at an angle. So you're just going to lay this over. Okay, the round part, I consider that to be the top. So let me just go ahead and flip this over. I just noticed that starting wrong already. Okay, doesn't matter at any point that you start, but you just want it at an angle. Okay. And all you do is just put just a little bit of hot glue, not a whole lot. That's a tiny hot glue gun, so that's okay. The amount came out, and you see what I did? I'm just barely tapping it down, and we're gonna let that dry for just a moment, because we're gonna be pulling on this. Okay, and you'll see if you roll this up, how much easier it's going to be to work with. Okay, so that's dry enough. And that's all it takes. And now look, all we're going to do is we're just going to start wrapping. And y'all, this is all there is to it. And I'm going to show you about how far I come over with my wrap. You see about that distance? That's about the distance I'm going to keep between my wraps. Okay? So let's just continue. Once I get this straight and getting going, you're going to see just how, you see I'm going to roll this up even tighter. And you're going to see just how incredibly easy this is. And you see how I'm trying to keep my wraps just about the same distance apart? Okay. See that? See how they're all just about the same distance apart? It's just, the neater it is. That you don't have to, it doesn't have to be exact, but the neater you do things as you go. If you kind of just get in the habit, the neater you do things as you go, the better your projects will come out. Okay, it's just a good habit to form. Okay, you see how they're all just about the same. I'm eyeballing it, y'all. I'm just eyeballing it and just going around. And I got a little fuzz on here from my other fabric. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it gets stuck to it. Doesn't matter. It's because I'm getting ready to cover this with it anyway. Look at that. Y'all, is that incredibly easy? See how nice it is if you roll it up? If you roll your piece up, See how nice and easy it is to handle. And going round and round and wrapping your ring. And okay, why do we want to wrap our ring? To make our bunny fatter. That's all. See how it's given some depth to our ring? And I tried it the very first time I tried it. I started out wrapping with just the fabric, and I didn't like it at all. I knew that I needed to poof it out a bit, and so that's what we're doing. That's why we're using the batting. Okay, now this is the back side. You see how this is curved in and this is curved out? So this is the front of my bunny and this is the back of my bunny. And right now I'm to the back of the bunny and I've run out. That's good. Ran out right in a good place. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue this down just a bit, just a little, tap it down. Let me grab my scissors. Forgot to get my scissors. Here we go. That was drying while I ran off to get my scissors, so that's just about done. Okay, you see how I cut that about halfway? Because now I don't want to overlap this. I just want to I just want it to meet. I'm not going to overlap it because I don't want to overdo bunching up. So that's why I cut that off just about half. I'm going to add a little hot glue. So see how incredibly easy it is to make a splice. That's all there is. That's all there is to it. Look how incredibly easy that is. Let's let that dry just a second because we can be pulling on it. Just tap it down. Oh, and pulling up those little pieces. And you see this piece isn't glued. That's okay. Once we wrap it, it's going to get caught in the wrap anyway. That's going to be perfectly fine. And now here we go. Let's continue. And y'all, we're almost finished. So I pulled on that a little bit. Let's kind of just hold it. Go over it. And that's all that's necessary. That's all that, I don't know why I'm worried about pulling those little pieces off. We're getting ready to cover it anyway. But you see how much, y'all, you see how easy this is? If you'll just roll your piece up. And just keep wrapping. That's all we're doing. And we're just making our piece of wire fuller and giving some body and some depth to our bunny. And this is, you see how, yeah, this is the wrong side. This is the wrong side right here because it is kind of concave. And this is going to be the perfect spot to just wire it off. We're at the end, and I am not wire it off, hot glue it off rather. Just gonna put a little hot glue there. Y'all, don't go crazy with the hot glue. You don't want your hot glue to come through your fabric, because right now this is just the background piece, and you don't want this to you don't want to make it. You're gonna try not to make real hard spots. Okay, and that's it, y'all. There it is. This is the front, and there it is. So that is how we got. You can see how that is just incredibly easy, absolutely nothing to it. And that is how we got our batting on it. And so now let's start with our fabric. Okay, and I'm gonna start, I know this is the back because this is where I've overlapped it and I can easily see it. And so I'm gonna start right there with my fabric. Again, I've cut this in a 4-inch strip. I'm going to show you how to, again, I'm going to show you how to piece this, okay? So let's get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a little bit hot glue here, a little bit, and just a little bit. And you can see I'm using my small little, this is a small little hot glue gun, because I don't want a ton of glue coming out. Okay, and let me didn't realize I was at the end. Sorry about the phone, forgot to turn phones off. But you see how we fold this over? That's important. You see that little bit of fold over? I'm folding over about a 1/2 inch each way, okay? And then I'm just gonna put a little glob of hot glue right here on top of my fabric. I'm gonna now turn this over and at an angle and just tap it down. Just tap it down, and let's let that catch just a minute. And while that is setting up, I'm gonna pull my fabric through, okay? Let's let that kind of catch up there. Let that dry just a minute. Okay, I've turned that under, okay? I turned it under. So from this side, from looking inside, go ahead and continue to turn your fabric about a 1/2 inch under, and you will do this all the way around, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. Okay, this is going to take just a little bit more effort than putting on the batting, but you'll see it's not hard at all. Okay, but you see how we want this to do? Just like this. We roll this up, and we're going to come over. Isn't that neat? And you'll see as once you start doing that, and you see how all your little threads poof up, y'all, you're gonna see you won't see any seam at all. Okay, so it's gonna look like just a continuous piece, like you've bought a toy or something. It's just gonna be a continuous piece of just your little fur. And look, I come around about. I leave about that much, almost like with the batting. I leave about just a little bit more than an inch, okay? And you see how, and keep this rolled up so you don't have to mess with it that much. You won't have as many little fraying pieces either. If the less you fool with it, the less it'll fray and have all your little pieces. And just kind of, don't pull it really tight. Y'all look at that. Just seamless. Isn't that great? It's just completely seamless. And that's all there is to it. And we're just going to just keep going around. My husband, who is the editor of all of my videos, said that he's probably going to speed this up till I get to a point to where I am going to join it. Did you see how, y'all, once you get started, it starts staying folded, okay? Once you go around a couple of times, did you just notice that? It starts staying kind of folded. See it? See how you can see it's still folded? It kind of stays, okay? And there you go. You're just wrapping your ring. And look at that, seamless. Isn't it great? I love making these bunnies. I hope y'all enjoy them as much as I do. And that is it. And they come out so pretty. And you just keep going round and round. Try to be neat. Try to come over about the same. If you're a little off, it's not going to matter, because you can see that I'm trying to, you can use your lint roller. When all your little pieces start fraying, just have your lint roller handy. And the lint roller just picks up all of those little pieces in just a flash, okay? So there we go. Keep this kind of rolled up. Keep it neat. See if this works better. See, kind of like that. See? Keep your little half inch turned under. And y'all, that's all there is to it. I kind of seem to be able to keep my half inch turn if I do a little bit with my hand. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Just perfect. Perfect, perfect. We're going to get to a seam in just a second, and I'll show you how to splice it. Just like we do the batting. Just want to make sure you don't want to use a whole lot of hot glue. It doesn't take much. As you're going to see in just a minute. Doesn't take much at all. And you want to make sure that you make your splice on the back, because you're going to have a little hard spot. The hot glue, that's why I say don't use a whole lot. Hot glue, it's not necessary. And the hot glue will come through the fabric and kind of cause a hard spot, and it'll kind of hold your little the fibers down, which you don't want to happen. Okay, so let's see. This is the back. So let's see if I can get all the way to the back. See, this is where I started. I can see this where I started. So now I'm at the back. And I want to make sure that I make my splice on the back. Okay, there's the back. I know that's the back because I can see it and I can feel my hot glue, so I know I'm on the back. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add some hot glue. Not a whole lot. Doesn't take a whole lot. You kind of put a little there. Hold it down. Okay, and just kind of tap it. I kind of tap it with the end of my, I'm keeping all my little threads up, but kind of just tapping through. You don't want to push your threads down, even though that this is on the back. You know, you just want it to look nice as you can, but you can kind of tap through with your scissors in case some of the glue has come through. You know, you're just catching in the bottom and not catching your little threads. Okay, so that's it. Again, we're going to cut it. We're going to splice kind of in the middle, because that's the back. And here we go with our next piece. I'm going to start. I'm going to put just a little hot glue there and just a little. I'm going to fold it over. Here I'm starting with my half inch turn under. Okay. And we're going to do this as careful as we can. Okay, just you can see I'm just putting a little hot glue there, and I'm going to add just a little bit to this, just a little, not a whole lot. Y'all, that's one of those little mini hot glue guns. Okay, we want to do this as neat as possible. And again, I'm going to tap this down. I know that there's some hot glue right here. I'm going to get my little fibers up. See that? And I'm just kind of pushing down into the hot glue, but at the same time keeping my fibers up. Okay? You just don't want a big old wad of glue and a big hard spot. And that's all there is to it, guys. That's all there is to it till you splice. Isn't that neat? That's all there is to it. Okay, here we go. Let's make sure that we have some turn under. We do. Let's push this under. See, there's our splice. Kind of pulled on it. Glue isn't quite set yet. Making sure all of our little fibers are up, yet at the same time glued down. I think it's going to hold. I think we've waited. See that? Look how pretty it looks. Even though this is the back, you know, I try to, you know, I want everything to look nice. And we're coming over it. How's that? Look at that. There's your splice on the back. I can see a little bit, a couple of little pieces down right there. Fluff them up. Look at that. Can't even tell. can't even tell it was spliced. So that's why, I wanted to make sure, I showed you the splice. I buy this just because I make so many bunnies, I buy this just yards and yards long. And you can cut it to where, if you're going to make that many bunnies, you can buy that many yards. But I wanted to make sure that you might only want to make one bunny. So I wanted to make sure that you saw how to splice it and make a pretty splice. Make sure you make your splices, all of your splices to the back. Okay? And just look how incredibly easy this is to continue wrapping around. Look at this. Isn't that wonderful? I just love these. So I don't know what it feels like. More like a bunny, a little lamb. You could make this be a little lamb if you would like. A lot of uses for this fabric. Again, it's called Curly Fleece. And I got it at Hobby Lobby. Almost to the end. Almost done. And this is the back. Because you see, I can see that little half piece right there, so I know that's the back. And I'm just going to pull this over it. Look at that. And this is the back, and this is with the splice. This is with the splice in it. Okay? So, just I'll let you know, you don't have to be quite as careful whenever you finish up, because you can put a little bit more glue there, because what you can decide to do is make this the middle. You can make this, like, if you want to call it the bottom, this would be the bottom of the top of the bunny. This is the top of the bottom. And this is where you're going to join them, and this is where all your decorations are going to come through. So you don't have to be quite as careful there, because you're going to cover it up anyway. Okay, so just want to let you know that. Okay, I'm still showing you. I was showing you the bottom there. I'm going to put just a little bit more glue to show you that you can, because this is the bottom. And that's it. Okay, I'm going to cut this off. And to finish this, I'm going to put just a little touch of glue in there from underneath. Also, and with my scissors, I'm going to tap it down into the glue. I'm pushing the fabric down, but I'm not pushing my loops down. And look how pretty that comes out. You can't even see it. Okay? So just do it with the tip end of your scissors. It's the fabric, the backing of the fabric is sticking down, but your loops aren't. And look at that. So that's all nicely glued down, and you can't even see it. So how's that? And it's finished. And this is the wrong side. How you like that? So let's turn it over. This is our right side. You can no seams at all. Y'all use your lint roller. You can just all those little pieces, and then this is how you're going to join your two pieces. I don't join them at this point. I put my ears on and I put my feet on, and then I join them. Okay, because when I'm working with my ears, I'm just working with this piece. When I put the feet on, I'm working with that piece, and then I join them, and then I start decorating. Okay, so there is your bunny, all furred up and ready for the next step. And the next little video in the series will be how to make the ears, and that's what we'll do next. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.